Hello again. Well, just read a rather interesting article on Al-Bawaba News. I'll attach a link. This is obviously something from the Middle East, like Egypt. And the title is Egypt's Final Verdict for Morsi's Espionage Trial, due in May. I believe it's May the 16th. Now, for those of you that aren't aware of who Morsi is, his first name is Mohammed. And if you're a viewer of mine, you have a very good idea as to who he is and the role that he played in the Arab Spring. You know, the one that was fueled by Hillary Rotten Clinton and Barack Hussein Obama, as both Hillary and Omar-Abdel-Rahman were going through the Middle East, destroying it. I wonder how many hundreds of millions the two of them, Hillary and Huma, gave to Hamas. You know, and you have to ask yourself a question, where'd they get the money from? Well, I guess Speaker John Boehner's open purse policy, but that's a different story. Mohammad Morsi used to be friends with the Clintons back in the 80s when the Morsis lived in the United States. Do you not find it sort of coincidental that one of the good bros and friends of Billy Bob and Hillary, Mohammad Morsi, ends up being put in as president of Egypt once the Arab Spring dethrones Mubarak, who was only there for 30 some odd years? He had peaceful existence with Israel, with the United States, but they got rid of him. And they put in Mohammad Morsi. Now, what did Mohammad Morsi promise the Egyptian people during his inauguration ceremony? Well, what he said was, I'm going to turn Jerusalem into the capital of Egypt. And he also said he's going to free the blind sheik. Now, for those of you that aren't familiar with the blind sheik, he was very instrumental in trying to bring down the Twin Towers, I believe in 93. I believe it was in 93. And he happens to be residing in a federal prison. He received a life sentence for his participation. His name is Omar-Abdel-Rahman. Now, to the Muslims, especially those closely associated with the Muslim Brotherhood, which Morsi was, and which I believe Obama is, they regard the blind sheik as a prophet. So when Morsi promised to return him, you can naturally understand the jubilation that rang throughout Egypt at that time. Well, one of the problems that Morsi had is he tried to force Sharia law onto the Egyptian people, which many weren't ready for. He ultimately was removed from power. And again, the verdict for Morsi's espionage trial, I believe, is due on the 16th of May, 2015. Just so you know, a conviction on espionage has a death sentence associated with it. And if that isn't enough of a problem, as you'll see in the attached article, he also faces charges including the murder and torture of protesters outside the presidential palace in December 2012. So to me, it looks like Mohammad Morsi doesn't have a very bright future ahead for him or any of his conspirators that were tied in with him. Now, what's interesting is that Morsi does have a lot of pertinent, critical information that could unhinge the chosen one from being able to fly willy-willy here and there and everywhere in Air Force One. There was speculation that the chosen one with the floppy ears had given Morsi, I believe, $6 to $8 billion And the reason that money was given to Morsi when Morsi was in power was to enable Morsi to purchase part of the Arabian Peninsula and turn that over to the Muslim Brotherhood, which would in essence have given them their own country. That sort of never happened. Well, folks, we'll see what happens. I'm hoping that once he's convicted, he'll try to negotiate to save his own life. And in the process, he might provide information that could once again unhinge Barack Hussein Obama. However, based on the way no one's been able to do anything to cause Barack Hussein Obama any real problems, I don't think this will either. If Morsi does talk, he's probably aware of the consequences of doing so. And being a loyal, dedicated jihadist, I can't see him rolling over on the chosen one. Can you? I look forward to May 16th. I actually put that in my iPhone to alert me, just in case it slips my mind. Once that date comes, I'll try to update my viewers on the outcome. I want to thank one of my viewers for sending me this kind of information. She, and it is a she obviously looks for news throughout the world, which is why I received this particular link. Once again, it will be attached. You won't have to look for it. Thanks for viewing.